Johnny Depp v. Amber Heard trial live coverage. Josh Drew testifies via video deposition. Actor Johnny Depp is suing his ex-wife Amber Heard for $50 million over an op-ed she wrote in 2018, claiming it damaged his career. Heard did not name Depp in the article entitled, "I spoke up against sexual violence, and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change." His lawyers argue it was obviously about him. Witnesses testifying on behalf of Heard continue deposition Wednesday. The list includes Heard's former fiancé and makeup artist. Heard completed her testimony Tuesday after several days on the stand. Court proceedings in Fairfax County, Virginia continue weekdays at 9 a.m. EST and will be live-streamed online. Closing arguments are expected May 27. Josh Drew testifies via video deposition. After Raquel Pennington's deposition ended, the next witness has been called. Amber Heard called Joshua Drew to testify via previously recorded video deposition. The deposition was given on November 19, 2019. Drew is the ex-husband of Pennington. The couple started dating in June 2014. Got married about a year later and got divorced in September of 2018. He said he met Heard 3 or 4 weeks after he began dating Pennington and that he regularly interacted with Depp more than 50 times. Drew lived with Pennington in the Penthouse 1 apartment in the Eastern Columbia building. Pennington recalls damage to Penthouse, Heard's injuries. Raquel Pennington ended her deposition by going through photos she said depicted damage done to the apartment the night of May 21, 2016. There were photographs taken off the wall and put onto Depp and Heard's bed, broken glass and spilled liquid on the stairs and boxes of papers outturned in Heard's office. Pennington said she knew Depp broke a glass and knocked fruit on the ground. Pennington also described a photo of Heard in the courthouse with her publicist the day she filed for a domestic violence temporary restraining order against Depp. Pennington said Heard had a bruise on her right cheekbone and described Heard as a skeleton. She testified that she did not see Heard put on makeup that day. Pennington also said Heard is not a gold digger and never saw a makeup artist put fake bruises on her face. She added that Depp told her that he cut off the tip of his finger, but could not remember exactly what he said to her. Pennington tries to break up fight. Depp hits her hand. Raquel Rocky Pennington recalled trying to break up an argument between Depp and Heard at the Eastern Columbia building in May of 2016, days before Heard filed for divorce. Pennington said she unlocked the door to Penthouse 3, heard Depp yelling and Heard calling for help, something she never had done before. Pennington described Depp as irate and she was afraid he would hurt Heard, she testified. She went up to Depp, put her hands on his chest and said to stop. Pennington recalled thinking she could calm him down. Depp then hit Pennington's hands away, she said. Heard was now sitting on the couch crying and Pennington went over and put her arms around her. Depp continued to move closer to the woman, yelling at Heard to get the FK up. Pennington recalls Depp then grabbing a Magnum bottle of wine and smashing things off the island, she said, as his team encouraged him to leave the room. Heard had injuries while on James Corden's show, Pennington says. Raquel Pennington said claims that Amber Heard did not have physical injuries when she appeared on the James Corden show are false. Pennington said she was with Heard when she was getting ready to appear on the Late Late Show with James Corden in Deck, 2015. She said any claim that Heard had no injuries that day is a false assessment or statement. I saw injuries on her body from the time directly after they happened, throughout the next night, the next day and as they continued to heal, she said. A series of photos Pennington took of Heard were shown, depicting Heard with cuts and bruises on her face and head. Pennington previously testified that she never saw Heard pull out clumps of her own hair or paint on bruises with makeup. It was the opposite, Pennington said. She often has to cover bruises and injuries on her face with makeup. She added that she witnessed her do this. She added that she had conversations with Johnny Depp in which he was sorry and apologetic for his behavior during physical and verbal arguments with Heard. In those talks, Pennington said Depp made it clear he was sorry. She said he asked for forgiveness and said he was working on getting clean and getting better. She saw him get better a lot of times, but never permanently. I was scared for Amber, Pennington testifies. Raquel Rocky Pennington became increasingly emotional as she continued testimony Wednesday, saying she was worried for Heard's physical safety when Depp turned, saying he may do something worse than he intended. I was scared for Amber, Pennington said. I was sad for her. I was also sad for Johnny because he is my friend too and I really wanted them to be able to get it. She recalled the Hicksville incident that sparked a major fight between Depp and Heard. Heard and her friend Kelly Sue were sitting on a chair and hugging in a friendly manner around the campfire, Pennington recalled. Pennington said a switch flipped and Depp told Kelly Sue to get her hands off his woman. She said Depp's sudden behavior change, or switched flip, wasn't surprising but she never knew what caused it. She explained that Depp would act like his wonderful self for a time-certain portion of an occasion, but when a switch would flip, he would either disappear by himself or his mood would change to something. Generally, Heard would follow him in an attempt to provide comfort, Pennington explained, which is what happened in Hicksville that led to an alleged fight. Pennington recalled going to their trailer the following morning where that fight took place. She said that Depp and Heard already had left, but the trailer was in disarray, with knocked-off light fixtures, cushions off the couch and items thrown around. When asked if Pennington has known Heard to destroy property, she answered no. Pennington became more emotional as she explained injuries on Heard's face sustained in December of 2015, the day before Heard appeared on the James court. Pennington said Heard's eyes were bruised and nose was swollen in the photos taken after an alleged incident at the penthouse. Pennington testifies she never saw Depp attack Heard. Raquel Rocky Pennington recalled the night Johnny Depp came to the penthouse at the Eastern Columbia building on May 21, 2016. This was the night that Depp allegedly threw a phone at Amber Heard and the police were called. Pennington said she heard Depp and Heard yelling in Penthouse 3 while she was in Penthouse 1. She said she received a text from Heard and went straight over. I don't remember what they were saying but it was a verbal argument, she said, referring to what she heard when she entered the apartment. Then he continued to yell and I went over to her and stepped between them. Pennington said she did not see Depp touch her or throw anything at Heard. After Depp left that night, Pennington said there was damage to Penthouse 5 and that Heard's cheek was red and swollen. She does not remember if they cleaned up the damage before the police arrived. She also does not know if either set of officers that responded that night saw any damage to the apartment. That part of the deposition ended with Depp's attorney asking Pennington if she ever saw Depp physically attack Heard. Pennington said she did not see Depp strike, kick or physically injure Heard. While she didn't see Depp throw anything at Heard, Pennington said she saw him throw things around her. Friend recalls taking photos of Heard's injuries to face, head. The jury is watching the remainder of Raquel Rocky Pennington's video deposition that was recorded on Jan 20, 2022. The first part of her deposition was played in court Tuesday, in which Pennington described her relationship with Heard. She said the two were close friends but have since grown apart. On Wednesday, the deposition picked up with Pennington recalling Heard had cuts on her arms after returning from the Australia trip. At a Thanksgiving dinner at Heard's penthouse in the Eastern Columbia building, Pennington recalls spilled wine on the bed and on the ground and that there was glass everywhere. She also testified to observing several injuries on Heard that night. Pennington said Heard's head was raw and bloody with a chunk of hair missing. Heard's nose was swollen on the upper bridge, she had a cut on her lower lip and her face was red, Pennington said. She said the redness of her face could have been from crying. Pennington took several photos depicting Heard's injuries, including bruising under her eyes, part of her head where hair was ripped out and a clump of hair on the floor of Heard's. Amber Heard confirms she has thrown things at Depp. Amber Heard confirmed under oath that she previously hit and thrown things at her ex-husband Johnny Depp. While on the stand on Tuesday, Heard was asked about her own violent actions towards her ex-husband. "It's always been my own testimony that I hit Johnny," Heard told the court, turning to address the jury. Asked whether she threw anything at him during a specific incident, she continued, "I hit him in defense of my sister. I didn't have anything to throw at him. I never threw anything at him. I hit him when he attacked me and my sister. Specifically, when he moved for her, that's when I hit him," Heard said. "So it's your testimony under oath that you threw nothing at Mr. Depp?" Depp's attorney, Camille Vasquez asked. "I have thrown things at Johnny to be clear, but not on that occasion," Heard replied.